So I beat Pontiff Sullivan before uh, recording again. I beat him first try. My thoughts on him haven't really changed. It's just Pontiff Sullivan. Now, hopefully, in this video, I'll be able to get through the rest of the game. Um, the castle and the archives, along with, Archdragon Peak, are... Oh, I was expecting that to one shot. Are like the longest areas in the game. So I'm not sure if I will be able to finish in the same amount of time. But regardless, or, if it'll end up being way shorter. But regardless, I hope this doesn't take too absurdly long. Now, this level is one that I'm really not sure how I'm going to tackle, because it's one that I never explore. Not because I haven't. I have explored this level before, but more so just because there's not much useful, and the game doesn't really feel like it incentivizes exploring much, especially because you can go back over here. I actually don't remember what's over here. It's been so long. Is there anything over here? I mean, I guess I should check it out. There's a mimic. There's a mimic in a boss room. It'd be funny if you could somehow attack this thing with I don't know, some ranged weapon and get it to attack Pontiff for you. That'd be funny. So while I'm fighting this mimic, I've been playing the Elden Ring DLC. I wasn't expecting to play it so close to launch. I won't spoil anything. You don't need to worry about that. But playing Dark Souls 3 made me like Elden Ring more as I was going through it in order to get to the point that I can play the DLC. I played through with just a claymore like I'm doing in Dark Souls 3. Well, I mean, I had some random heater shield. I just tried to press the jump button. I need to play less Elden Ring. Anyway, so I'll probably be playing this like I have been playing Elden Ring, which might I might need to get back in the groove of playing Dark Souls 3, Hopefully it doesn't damper my performance too badly. But I do like Elden Ring a lot more after playing Dark Souls 3 the way I have been, and engaging with Elden Ring as I would Dark Souls 3, but more so coming at the angle that I know I need to meet the game at its own terms rather than trying to force the game to let me play the way I want to. And, with that, I was having a lot more fun with it. See, this is exactly what I mean. I was expecting the Elden Ring moveset. I was trying to do that because that's the heavy running attack in Elden Ring rather than the running light attack. So my brain is going to be a little bit backwards for a little bit. And then, obviously using a lot of jump attacks and heavy attacks to get stackers and stuff. I didn't use the Claymore through all the DLC. I found a way cooler greatsword. Not cooler, but the weapon art is way cooler than the Lion's Claw, so I was using that. But my, whatever, 10 hours or however long it took me to beat the base game with only the Claymore is very much going to influence how I'm playing. Oh my god, I forgot about this guy. Ow! Was that... Okay, I also have in Elden Ring, I have, ow, 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 ow. Oh my god, stop! Let me out. In Elden Ring, I have my healing on holding Y and then pressing D-pad left. So if I just randomly don't... Or un-two-hand, I just realized I did that. That's why. Oh god. Stop. Yeah. Okay, I need to stop being used to Elden Ring stuff, but yeah, that's exactly what I mean with my gameplay might not be exactly as good as it normally is, just because I'm used to playing Elden Ring. So hopefully that's not too obvious for too long. But also, I do want to offer my thoughts on Elden Ring a bit. Just that I like it a little bit more. Anyway, back to Dark Souls 3. The whole reason that I'm making this video in the first place. So in my experience, I dislike the first part of the game because, I had thought that it was a bad tutorial. And I disliked the second part of the game because I didn't like what Dark Souls 3 did. But now that I realize that it being a bad tutorial is kind of on me, I don't know how I'm... What the hell? I don't know how I'm going to feel about the rest of the game. I'm hoping that I'll end up liking it, but I suppose we shall see. That one's not real. This one is real. Staggers really fast. There we go. I would have expected the giants to be a little bit more threatening. Though I suppose that's what happens when you just try to run past them. They are also significantly smaller than the ones in the cathedral. I also don't think I've ever killed those two NPCs, and that was funny how easy that was by just spamming R1. Yeah, once again, in the Elden Ring mindset, which worked shockingly well for Dark Souls 3, but you need to get out of that. I feel like a lot of the people, and this is not even anecdotal, this is just pure speculation. I feel like a lot of the people who came from Elden Ring and started playing the other games, like, you'd probably end up liking Dark Souls 3, but if you're not expecting such a dramatic shift between Dark Souls 3 and, you know, Dark Souls 1 or 2, you're probably going to end up disliking Dark Souls 1 and 2. Do I want to fight the Pontiff Beasts? Honestly, if I was playing casually and I saw this, I would just run. There's no way in hell I would want to fight these things. So I'm not gonna. That just does not seem like a good time. Though I suppose using the pillars, it could be a kind of fun exercise to try and kill them without dying yourself. If I knew that there was a plunging attack animation on these things, I would do that. Well, actually, I could just slide down and drop off the ladder. Wait for them to not be an attacking animation. Hiya! Okay. Oh my god! If I had done the critical... Oh my god. Need to give myself a moment. I'm also used to the absurd amount of stamina you get in Elden Ring as well. Especially being at like level 30 or whatever. Whatever I was at the DLC. This does kind of feel like an Elden Ring enemy. I don't know if that makes sense. But like the way it staggers and like the amount of aggression and everything. I don't know. It kind of does feel like an Elden Ring enemy in my mind, having been playing way too much Elden Ring recently. It also feels like you're supposed to attack the head, which Elden Ring does a lot more than the other games. Oh my god. Straight up, that death was just from playing incorrectly. Way too aggressively in a way that the game couldn't have expected. Especially because, you know, I'm playing as if I was playing Elden Ring. So, let me get back there. I feel like Elden Ring is also built a lot around hit trading, and Dark Souls 3 is not at all. In Elden Ring, it expects you to take a hit every now and then while dealing damage, right? Just because of how the bosses are. But in Dark Souls 3, I feel like it more expects you to dodge everything and then attack. And when I say that the game expects you to get hit, I mean like during the ambushes, right? Goddamn. Okay, this thing's so aggressive. So like, an enemy is gonna show up out of nowhere, and then it expects you to get hit there, and that's why you get the Estus refills. Like, it does obviously expect you to get hit. I pressed the Y button to heal again. It expects you to get hit during that, and that's why it's so generous with the Estus refills. Not that it expects you to get hit during, you know, combat. While Elden Ring very much, I feel like, does expect you to get hit during combat. It feels like it's built around trading hits. I mean, I might as well put this on, right? I really need reason not to. Though somehow that enemy, despite it being difficult and me needing to play decently well. Didn't get me into Dark Souls 3 brain. Didn't get me out of Elden Ring brain, I suppose. Hopefully, I can chunk it back over before too long. I fought Aldrich enough and have struggled on him enough that hopefully I should be able to just instinctively play properly. And if failing Aldrich, the dancer, definitely. I've spent so long fighting the dancer just over and over. Because, I mean, first of all, I think it's a fun fight. But even in my first playthrough, like, it took me so long to beat her. Okay, so you can definitely see the archers from here. I don't know, because the game doesn't really feel like it expects you to look around very often. But I suppose it does make sense that it could test a new thing every so often. So I'm not going to say the archers are unfair, especially since, like, that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be a surprise. It's like, oh, hey, Dark Souls. Remember Dark Souls? Oh, God. Okay, I probably shouldn't quit out. Once again, playing like Elden Ring, I need to stop doing that. Let's see if I can do this now. Okay. The answer is no. Darn it, I wasn't fast enough. I can do it in Dark Souls 1 and I can do it in Elden Ring. I cannot do it here in Dark Souls 3. This is an area that I have ran through exclusively. I don't know how to deal with these Silver Knights specifically because I've never tried to deal with them. Which, you know, great way to get back into playing a game that my mind has been off of for so long. Ouchie. Okay, that was terrifying. No. Okay, that's so cool. Thanks, Dark Souls 3. That happens a lot more in this game than it does in Dark Souls 1. It's not often in Dark Souls 1 where you'll, like, be pushed off a ledge, quit out, and then slide off of the ledge when you load back in. It does seem to happen pretty often in Dark Souls 3, considering it's happened both times I've tried to quit out to save myself. Though it might also just be getting extremely unlucky. What if I run past up there? Is that what the game expects me to do? Oh, God. Ah. I was expecting that one to chase me, actually. So what am I supposed to do about this? Okay, whoa. Drop down. Hopefully the knight will follow me. Where is it? Is it just pull out its... Oh my god. That's so awesome. Does this one not know I'm here now? Okay, I am undetectable, I suppose. Okay, cool. Need to let myself get reacclimated to fighting Dark Souls 3 enemies. There we go. Oh my god, make up your mind. Come on. Was that a stagger? From one strong attack? Okay. Alright, I have no idea how many Silver Knights there are here. That's so cool. Oh god. I also need to not play like I'm using a fast weapon, because this is not a fast weapon. Play like you're using a slow weapon, Ruby. You're used to this. You know how to do this. You just gotta get back in the mindset. Alright, oh, hi. Whoa. I forgot about you. Now, in Dark Souls 1, I believe they shoot 4 arrows, and that counts as, like, one move for them. Or, like, they're caught in a combo of shooting 4 full arrows instead of, yeah, 1 arrow, and then they can choose to do another move. Just because of how the AI works. But in Dark Souls 3, I think one shot is just one move, and they can transfer out of it whenever they like. Dang, I was really expecting that to kill. Heavy attacks and stagger potential are very useful. And I need to remember how to make use of them. Though, to be honest, I've been making more use of them in Elden Ring than I have ever in Dark Souls 3. So maybe, despite the complete failure to remember how to play this game, eventually somehow I will be able to play this game properly and even better. Like, Elden Ring made me use jump attacks and stuff more in Dark Souls 1, which is weird. Like, I didn't use jump attacks ever at all until after I played Elden Ring. And then I started making full use of my entire arsenal of moves. Though in Dark Souls 3, I still hardly ever use jump attacks and stuff. I'll still use heavy attacks or whatever, whenever the opportunity presents itself. But because of the speed of the game, it doesn't really feel advantageous to very often. So the idea of using, jumping attacks doesn't really cross my mind, despite them being faster than heavy attacks most of the time. I think the versatility of heavy attacks might be the culprit for that, because, if you can either fully charge or not charge your strong attack at all, and that'll make it take different times and do different amounts of damage and do different amount of poise damage. And I think that versatility kind of steers me away from jumping attacks, because jumping attacks, once you press the button, you are locked in for the entire thing. So it might be faster, but, faster than a fully charged heavy, and do more damage than a fast heavy. But, I don't know. I think the versatility just kind of wins out in my brain. So I don't use the jumping attacks very much, let alone, the kick or whatever. In Dark Souls 1, when I'm fighting NPCs, I'll pull out the kick nearly constantly. It's super useful to do a quick stagger, or, to push enemies around to knock off their shield or whatever. But is this an illusory wall here? Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure if you specifically needed a ring or if it was just a normal illusory wall. I couldn't remember. Also, somewhat related. I don't know. Well, actually, once I upload this, it'll be too late. But I have a poll up right now asking who the gayest character in Dark Souls 1 is. And I have Solaire on there. I have Vincent Nico. I have Priscilla, Lothric, and I think there's one more. I remember the brass armor set being down here. Is it not? I mean, I know it is in Dark Souls 1, but I thought they also put it here in Dark Souls 3. I guess not. I don't know. This is an area that I haven't really explored also. I usually just sprint straight up to the bonfire and then sprint straight to Aldrich from there. Though, to be honest, the cathedral isn't super worth exploring anyway. It's just kind of packed with deacons and clerics, and that's kind of it. Also, the lore of Anor Londo being here, like, the whole world coming together isn't really what bothers me, because it's a fantasy world. That's fine. What really gets me is the fact that Anor Londo shouldn't exist anymore. Like, in Dark Souls 2, it's kind of confirmed that the entirety of the world, crumbled and was reshaped and reborn completely differently. There is no DNA shared between Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, aside from, like, the Shattered Lord Vessel in the basement, right? To show that, hey, Dark Souls 1 basically didn't happen here. But for some reason, in Dark Souls 3, Anor Londo exists again, even though the whole city should have crumbled. And not like this, like, become rubble, So lore-wise, Anor Londo existing kind of retcons Dark Souls 2, but whatever. It is kind of cool that it's here, even if it's mostly just pandering. Right, so Anor Londo, I remember it just kind of being some enemy spam, and that's it. Whoa, careful. So I don't know how much there is to talk about level design here. I guess I didn't really talk about between Pontiff and Anor Londo, but I also don't know if there's much to talk about there, because it's just a few enemies and the Pontiff piece, Okay, I need to stop trading. I'm suffering from skill issue, I suppose. I also, again, haven't really explored Anor Londo, just because I haven't really found a reason to. This one's red-eyed. Oh, why didn't it stagger? Huh? I used a heavy attack. Cheater. Oh god, why is it lagging? I can play Elden Ring with no lag whatsoever, but the moment I try to play Dark Souls 3, you're going to start lagging all over the place. The Silver Knights, having the introduction being you know, in the middle of Irithyll before even knowing that Anor Londo exists. Does this open? I don't think so. You know, is a good thing, but then, you know, the archers being the first time you really see the Silver Knights, like, oh, hey, these are the Silver Knights from Dark Souls 1. That's kind of weird, considering they're, you know, part of Gwyn's crew and shouldn't really exist anymore. But I feel like the realization that they're Dark Souls 1 Silver Knights come with the... Well, I don't know, because they're right next to Snow's Hammer, but it's like, oh, this is like actually like Dark Souls 1 when you get to the part where they're, you know, shooting you when you're running up the buttresses. But, and then having just like normal ones there, especially one with the spear, like, I don't know, I like that introduction, but it doesn't feel, it feels like it's trying to be pandering, if that makes sense. Also, this guy in the cathedral, he was super easy. We'll see if that holds true here. Though if I'm constantly getting bombarded by deacons, it definitely will not be true. Not sure about the slugs, though. Is this the slimes or the slugs? Actually, I don't remember. I think it's slimes, which makes this significantly more annoying. There's also an undead bone shard somewhere. Having to approach these deacons sure is a unique challenge, though maybe it should have not been. Ouch. There's a proof there? Farming for proofs is so awful. Like, one of the worst things in Dark Souls 1. Or 3, I mean. Also one of the worst things in Dark Souls 1. Though I think Sunlight Medallions were worse. It took less time, but it was so much less engaging to me. So, I don't know. Personally, I think farming for Sunlight Medals is worse if you're playing offline. But proofs are also terrible. If I was playing online, I would find proofs worse for sure, because I just don't like PvP very much. Okay, let's see. Come on. I did the wrong button again because I'm used to the Elden Ring moveset. Get out of here. Okay, how many more deacons are there? Is that all of them? I remember there being so many more deacons. I feel like misremembering this game is really what gives it a bad taste in my mouth. That is so much less bad than I remembered. Alright. I think this one can petrify you. Ouch. Oh, it's curse. Even better. I don't know if the one in the cathedral can do that. Oh, that's not good. Curse juice. Dang. That run back is nothing, though. It's literally just 2 Silver Knights and then a few Deacons. I remember that being so much worse, and I really could not tell you why. Probably because when you're getting bombarded by fireballs from, what, like 7 Knights, it's awful. But when it's from, or sorry, 7 Deacons, it's awful. But when it's, you know, only a couple at a time, it's not that bad. So it's less that I didn't like this game because I ran through, and more so that I played the game and then started running through because I didn't like it as much as the others. And that made me dislike it, if that makes sense. Though running through didn't really change my opinion very much on the early levels, so I don't know. It was more meeting the game on its own terms rather than playing it differently that made me like it more. I feel like if I ran through it now, I would still like the levels, if that makes sense. Even though it was playing it properly that made me like them in the first place. Also the fact that these guys can stagger their fireballs in a way that makes it almost impossible to dodge them is kind of... But I guess it doesn't do very much damage, so it's not too awful. Still don't like it. Ouch. That one was 100% on me. Pure greed. Oh, instant attack. Okay. It doesn't like screech or anything. It's just on. Okay, I need to... First of all, not accidentally unto hands again. I need to heal. Not be hit by them. Okay, not play like Elden Ring. Alright, we got a basilisk over here. There we go, nice and easy. Okay, yeah, not that bad if you just kind of take your time and be careful about it. It is certainly not necessary, but I think it'll be funny to get to the strength soft cap before fighting Aldrich. I actually don't know if there's much of a reason to go above, like, what is it, 27 strength? Um, if you're constantly two-handing anyway. But I do still want to get to 40 because it's funny. And then from now on, I'll probably exclusively be leveling up endurance. I feel like when running to Aldrich, it makes sense to run past the deacons. Just because, you know, they're not exactly a threat when you're running past them in a way that doesn't force you to run toward them. Also, I feel like it makes sense to just sprint 2 bosses anyway. I feel like most people who play these games will simply run to the boss rather than killing every single enemy every single time on their way to the boss, which is, you know, kind of why shortcuts exist. Not really why they started existing in the first place. It was more so to let you fight fewer enemies for less than fighting pretty much none. But once you get to Dark Souls 3, the shortcuts kind of make sense as a way to run past enemies. Or to facilitate and being understanding of wanting to run past enemies, I suppose. Oh. I don't remember how Aldrich teleportation works. Ouch. Hitboxes. Okay, I know one thing I definitely don't like about Aldrich is his hitboxes. Like, especially the swipe doing full damage when the body hits you. But I suppose it makes sense from a gameplay perspective. Already phase 2, really? Oh my god. No. Oh, it's a chasing one too. This is homophobic. During Pride Month, really? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. That said, the fact that you can attack the tail for full damage... Oh god, that was such a weird delay. What? That was so slow. The fact that you can hit the tail for full damage, despite, you know, being so far away from the body, kind of makes up for the weird hitboxes, in my opinion. Like, gameplay-wise, like I said. So, I don't know. I think Aldrich is a fine boss. The arrow attacks are dumb. And having to just kind of, like, run away from this is also annoying. But largely, I think Aldrich is fine. I don't significantly dislike Aldrich as much as I do, say, Pontiff. Ouch. Like, I just straight up dislike Pontiff, while Aldrich is just kind of a passive, I don't love this boss. Super easy, though. Also, I think it's funny that it puts you here automatically. Like, I don't know, I feel like most people would want to go rest at a bonfire or whatever, but that's for cowards. I should be able to beat the dancer pretty easily, but I guess we'll see. Who knows? Knowing me, my hubris will get the best of me and I'll lose horribly. Oh yeah. That's exactly what I want to do to the dancer, to be honest. I know it's probably weird to be attracted to, you know, a monster girl like this, but I don't know. Kind of my type. I'm proud of it. It is Pride Month. I forgot to count. I didn't remember how many it was. It's 7 spins. But I couldn't remember how many I was on at that point. Oh, God. I'm much worse at the second phase than I am the first phase, but it's not all that bad, all things considered. I'm going to top off. Just for pure fear. Make sure hubris doesn't do me in like it usually does. Really, again? Okay. The easiest dancer fight ever, I suppose. So, I could have shown off my skill with the dancer. I guess I kind of did that in the scythe video, but... dancer is easy, I guess. I wish there would have been more time to talk about the dancer, because the dancer is probably my favorite boss in this game, including DLC and everything. I love the dancer fight. Just the weird timing is so much better than like odd delays or reaction based. I mean, it is still pretty reaction based because that's just kind of how Dark Souls 3 combat works. But the odd timing you know, that the whole um, 4/3 timing in the music and her movements going along with that and being different to most other bosses in the game, like, or all other bosses in the game if I remember correctly, like that makes her so much more intuitive for me to dodge, just because you have to drill that in if you want to be able to consistently dodge her. And because of how many attempts that fight took me in my first playthrough, like that just was kind of naturally drilled into my brain already, and I just love that fight so much. It's so much fun. Even, you know, having to or not knowing what the fight is, just like what the fight is, not knowing what it is and being able to capitalize on that. That's what I like about that fight. There are a lot of fights in the series that I like because I know how to deal with them, but there are a few exceptions where it's like I don't know how to deal with them, or even if I didn't know how to deal with them, I would still enjoy the fight, because that was my experience the first time I beat the dancer. And then, actually, I think that was my first time ever beating the dancer before or after Pontiff, rather. I every single time I play this game, I will fight the dancer really, really early. Now, of course, here there are a bunch of Pus of Man and Toxic, which makes this probably my least favorite area in the game, just because I find Pus of Man so unfun and annoying to fight. These are probably my least favorite enemy in the game. Oh god. Oh my god. Just because it's impossible to tell what they're doing, and they have huge hitboxes and extremely large reach. That is so loud on my end. I'm so glad I turned the volume down from last time. Jesus. Okay, I don't know if the Pus of Man will attack me while I'm fighting this guy. I'm also gonna attempt to avoid getting toxic. But no promises, obviously. What is this buff? Does this just make him do more damage? I'm not excited to fight Osiros, just because of the weird instant hover charge attack. Doing that without a shield is frustrating. Ow, why did that not backstab? What? What are you doing? There we go. He drops a chunk? Is that guaranteed, or is that just a chance to drop a chunk? I only want the Titanite chunks from here, so I'm not really going to worry about getting every single item. Oh. Okay, I was really worried that he was going to turn into a Pus of Man and have to deal with an extra one on top of all the ones that I'm already going to have to deal with, which I attempt to avoid. Anyway, I'm not going to get every item here because I just want the chunks. Wait, I don't want to fight two of them at once. Please. They're already awful enough. Oh god. No. Ouch. Oh, my stamina. Okay. I really need to get used to managing stamina once again. Because again, you know, I'm used to Elden Ring where you just get an absurd amount of stamina. Was that an Estus drop? I think that was an Estus drop. I think the Pus of Man are more likely to drop Estus. Though I don't quite remember. I don't even remember if they can drop Estus, to be honest. That's just an assumption I have based on how the system works. What I know about how it works, rather. Okay, so it seems like they're a lot easier to deal with if you get to this side. And then just watch out for the next swipe. You don't want to be on the arm side, obviously. I'm so confused. I can't tell what isn't a wind-up animation with how they move their neck. That's so awful. Ow. I do not understand these enemies whatsoever. Okay. Jesus. And there's a chunk as well. Or, I mean, chunk. What was I talking about? I have no idea why I just said that. I know there's another chunk up here, and that will be 4. And that's enough to get to +8. Then the rest to get to +9 will be in the castle itself, so... Gonna wait for this guy to fall down. What the? Why did I focus on that one? Okay, drop down, please. drop down, please? Does it drop down once you go up the stairs? It does drop down once you go up the stairs. Okay. The running strong attack being a jump attack is so weird. Like, I know a lot of weapons do that in Dark Souls 1, just have the same attack for both of them, but also don't have increased defense with weird miracles. That's cheating, basically. These things combined with the Lothric Knights and the castle are so annoying to me, because it definitely feels like you're supposed to focus on the caster and then go after the knight after you take out the caster, but that's so difficult with how aggressive the knights are. Should I go upgrade before fighting Osiris? Yeah, I probably should. It's not like I'm gonna have to take out the Pus of Man, and that's the worst part anyway. I think at this point in the game, you should be able to take out the Pus of Man fairly quickly just because of upgrade level and everything. But, so only having 3 of them isn't that bad, but they're still really unfun to fight. For the same reasons that Eodex Gundyr is unfun to fight. I saw someone say that Eodex Gundyr is their favorite, or what they think is the best tutorial boss. And they think that the Pus stage, the second phase, is well telegraphed. And I could not disagree more. Like, the jump attack is probably the only exception to that. Oops, trying to use Elden Ring inputs again. Like, even like even the like weird stab attack where it doesn't use the Pus part at all, I still think it's too, like, it uses such a small part of its overall shape to telegraph that. And at that point in the fight, especially for most people's first time through the game, they're going to be focusing on the entirety of it, right? Not just the tiny little part holding the weapon. And that you don't really need to focus on specific parts of enemies most of the time. The Pus of Man are the only exceptions that I can think of. And the game teaching you to deal with one specific enemy type with the first tutorial boss, or with the tutorial boss, right? I don't know, that feels pretty bad, in my opinion. It doesn't seem like something that the tutorial fight should focus on. Though, there are a lot of other reasons to dislike Eodex Gundyr. Like, not just the animations. For me, it's more so the, like, delay when it jumps. That's such a strange thing to have a delay on. Especially without it being telegraphed. It's not like it has wings or whatever. It just kind of like floats in the air for a second, and then, you know, Pontiff does the same thing, but at least Pontiff has wings, so it's not like completely out of nowhere. Though I suppose teaching that delays can happen is probably a good thing, and you need to time your rolls rather than spam roll. So, I don't know if an enemy just being able to float for a second is a good way to teach that, because generally it is pretty well visually telegraphed if an enemy will be able to do that. I think just a swing delay would have been more than enough, which it does have with its sideways swipe from, or where it like goes to the opposite side of its body. I don't know. Again, if Eodex Gundyr was only the first phase, I would think it was one of the best tutorial bosses in the series. But because it has both phases, you know. Oh, that's not a stair. Cool. Come on. Faster. Didn't need to do that trade, but why not, I suppose. Made it faster, and I didn't take that much damage. Oh god, why didn't that backstab? Backstabs are so finicky in this game. Like I said, it's just kind of the worst of both worlds, because when they do land, they're extremely powerful, which feels like is what they were trying to fix, you know, making them less overpowered, which I think Dark Souls 2 did wonderfully. Because, you know, you're not invincible when you backstab. But when it doesn't work, it's not obvious why it doesn't work. So, it's just kind of bad. And it's still overpowered if they land, you know? So, I don't know. Alright, Osiris is fine. Like I said, it's really just the hover charge that bothers me. You can kind of get up on him like this. Oh. Well, okay, a lot of the time. that's actually I do like Osiris. I feel like first phase Osiris is actually a pretty good boss. And even the second phase is alright, ignoring the hover charge. Like, you can get up in him like this, and he basically can't hit you with any of his melee attacks, but then he has attacks like this to counter that, which I think is really cool. And then when you're far away, he has like his tail swipe attacks, which is a really cool animation. His staff swipes make total sense. And he goes insane and starts swinging his baby all over the place. And then, you know, you have the hover charge, which has no tell and is really bad. And then during the phase transition, you have time to get a couple good attacks in. He does a spin at the end of that. Having dialogue, let me know how in the middle of the fight is a little funky. Because, you know, it kind of obscures your screen. What was that? Hitbox? Okay. I think that spin has a really good telegraph. I guess he's not a perfect boss, though. It's hard to say that any boss in Dark Souls 3 is. The arena also makes the fight, what the hell, a lot more confusing. Because, like, you know, you'll get pushed into a corner or up into, like, the piles of rubble, and it'll just be really confusing and weird. But overall, Osiris is pretty fun. And if you have a shield, the hover charge kind of stops being a threat anyway. I don't have a shield, obviously. I was genuinely tempted to, just for this fight specifically, but I decided not to. Oh god. What the hell? He spun, but it didn't hit me. Suppose I'm not complaining. He didn't even do the hover charge that time. I call it the hover charge because it looks like he's hovering. There's no build-up animation. He just is charging forward all of a sudden. But, yeah, he just didn't do it that time, which is good. It's not super uncommon, but it's also not like a super common attack. So you'll probably see it once or twice as a fight, if that. So I guess it's not all that bad. Osiris is a solid fight. Except for, you know, the few things that I mentioned. And even then, most of them are kind of nitpicks anyway. So now Champion Gundyr is an exception. I do want to use a shield just because I think parrying him is really fun. I don't know. Something about specifically Champion Gundyr makes me want to parry him. Just like how in Dark Souls 1 I would want to parry Gwyn. Though that's just because I think Gwyn's moveset is a little annoying. Though the fact that you can completely nullify that annoyance with parries makes me like Gwyn a lot more. Same thing, it's not that true of Champion Gundyr. I do think Champion Gundyr is a pretty good boss regardless. It's kind of just what I wanted the tutorial boss to be, but harder. So that makes Gundyr really fun. And I feel like a lot of people wanted EX Gundyr to be just the first phase. So either way, Champion Gundyr is a really cool addition, especially with the whole lore stuff around it. The Untended Graves. And then, you know, Dark Firelink Shrine being Firelink Shrine in the past and figuring all that out is a really cool thing. I don't think I've actually ever explored the Untended Graves. I don't know how it differs from... I don't remember these guys being here at all. I don't know how it differs at all from the actual real place here. Okay. I'm gonna stay away just so it can't poison me. And then get this one to come here. Oh, it's just a scythe one. The scythe ones are really easy. The dagger ones are to attack a lot faster and more frantically and are significantly more difficult for me. Difficult in an annoying way too. It's not even that they're difficult that I don't like them. They just attack way too fast to be fun to deal with for me. Fun. Why did it lag so bad? What's going on? Is my computer okay? I literally only have Dark Souls 3 and OBS open. I don't know why that happened. Hopefully that didn't look too awful on the video. Jesus. Alright. And I know there's like grave wardens and stuff here too. Dogs. What? How did you survive? But the bigger one died instantly? What? Oh my god, they're chilling. They're taking a bath. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry it has to be this way. Ouch. Oh my god. There we go. I feel bad. Yeah, the Grave Warden here. I knew this guy was here because he's like right on the main path. And they stagger in one hit, so I can kind of fight them like I would fight Elden Ring enemies. Oops. Uh-oh. Stop. Oh my god. Oh my... Get... That's so cool. That is something that is not fun. Getting put into a tree corner and just absolutely obliterated with literally nothing you can do about it. That's so awesome. That's one of the biggest reasons I don't like fast attacks like that. Having fast attacks is generally fine, right? But when it gets to a point where you literally cannot counter it in certain situations like that, it's a lot less fun. That's generally just why I don't like the option of enemies having absurdly fast attacks like they do in this game. Also, that didn't kill him. Stop being alive. What a jerk. Ah, dog. No more dog. Everything's fine. Oh, there's a chunk here? I didn't know that. I feel like I should have. I feel like I did know that, and I just kind of forgot. Yeah, I don't know. The Grave Wardens aren't that bad, especially because they don't have health or poise. But in a lot of situations, they can be very annoying. Hey, a chunk. Okay, let's see if I can pick these guys off without it being annoying. I don't like their breathing. Their breathing makes me uncomfortable. I also don't like the fact that they are breathing, just generally. Not because they're undead, but because that means that they're alive, and I don't like dogs in these games, and I don't want the dogs to be alive. I'm not sure how well that joke came through, but it's fine. I don't need to be funny. This is informative more than anything. Let's see, is there a giant crystal lizard over here? There is. Are there two? There's two. Never mind. Okay. I figured they would change the whole experience in a way that would not be quite as fun. And I don't like the fact that there are two there, simply because their movesets are not made to work together. I don't know if it was obvious with the Pontiff Beasts, but their attacks do not work well with each other at all. So while one is attacking you, the other can stagger their attacks in a way that makes it almost impossible to dodge, or, you know, like they can be in a position, or, you know, their positioning can be so disadvantageous to you that it makes the fight with them just absurdly more difficult, way more than it should be. I'm surprised there's nothing on top of the coffin, to be honest. Get out of here. Stop trying to stab me. You can get invaded here if you are embered, but of course I died to the Grave Warden, so I got pushed into a tree. I'm surprised there's no enemy there too, actually. I'm surprised they didn't keep a lot more positions from the first area, especially ones that would be, like, I don't know, somewhat ambushes. Anyway, time to completely fail at parrying. I cannot imagine that this fight will go well for me, but let's see. Hey, what do you know? I'm half decent at the video game. That's kind of surprising, to be honest. Oop. I should heal before it gets to the point where I can't heal. That kick has caught me off guard so many times. Even though it is so well telegraphed, that's exactly why. Because if you attack ever from neutral, it is entirely possible that you just won't be able to dodge out. Also, this garbage. Like, huh? It definitely feels like this fight has you using a shield in mind. But if your build just doesn't have a shield, it makes it way harder. Also, the shoulder check going halfway across the arena, the shoulder check goes way too far. So the two things that I really, really don't like about this fight are the shoulder check going way, way too far. It's not even that it's a bad attack. It's that it will go so far if you're not expecting it. Like if you dodge that first one and then dodge backwards and then he shoulder checks, just no matter how far away you are, you will get hit by it, right? It's absurd how far that goes. And then, of course, the charge into spin is so annoying because you will either get hit by a part of the charge or you will get hit by the spin. I've never fully dodged it like that, and that was only because I had a shield. And the shield is completely unupgraded and everything. So, again, the fight really does feel like it expects you to have a shield. And if your build just doesn't have a shield, too bad, I guess. And if you don't, you know, already know that you probably should have a shield for this fight. Anyway, let's see if I can actually successfully. I know you can parry a lot of the attacks that I am not parrying. But that's simply because I'm bad at parrying. And I don't know how to parry a lot of the attacks. Also, him picking up his halberd doing damage is strange. Oh my god. Never, ever, ever, ever attack from neutral, I guess. Has the same problem as Manus, too. You also can't attack from neutral with Manus. I don't know why it's lagging so bad. It's just Dark Souls 3. I don't know why my computer can't handle it. Oh, should I be two-handing for the crit? Ouch. Ouch. Also, the fact that he just doesn't follow up the punch with the shoulder check sometimes is kind of weird. I don't like variable combos. Elden Ring kind of goes all in with the variable combos, and I don't like that. Ugh. That's one thing I definitely do not like about Elden Ring. Because you literally can't learn the boss that way. Like, there is no learning there. It is pure reaction depending on what the boss follows up with, and I really, really do not like that. Like, at least in Dark Souls 3, most bosses don't have variable combos. And the occasional one that does makes a nice, interesting challenge. This is what's really forcing me to get back into Dark Souls 3 brain, by the way. Normally I can first or second try Gundyr, or 8x, or sorry, Champion Gundyr. But anyway, yeah, most of the time bosses, like the Dancer, doesn't have any variable combos. Once it uses one attack, it will always use the other attacks in the exact same order, which I think is fun, because you react to the first one and then you follow up. Like, you learn the rest of the attacks, right? Like, you can absolutely do it with reaction, but it'll be so much easier if you learn how to respond to the combo rather than simply reacting to the combo the whole time. And I think that's really, really fun. Oop. There we go. Oh yeah, it should be two-handing for the crit, huh? I actually don't know if it will increase the damage, because I know that in Elden Ring, the crit damage is not changed with two-handing. Or, I don't know that, but I read it on a forum post, and I am inclined to believe it. Once again, forgot to press. I think Dark Souls 1 is just too ingrained into my soul to be able to two-hand before doing a crit. Let's see. It doesn't do any more damage, okay. That checks out, considering it doesn't change the animation. Yeah, see, he doesn't shoulder check all the time. Sometimes he follows up with a stab as well. I don't know. I did not mean to press that button. My finger was genuinely just in the wrong spot for that. I don't know why I two-handed. I know it doesn't change the damage now. Also, probably shouldn't be only parrying. Normally, I don't parry at all. So my brain is just trying to get used to the other groove. What the hell? I didn't know you could just avoid that from positioning. You know, I think it's the scream that throws me off, because of the scream, it's kind of hard to, or it's impossible to, you know, be in the right position to dodge that from pure positioning. I don't know. Uh-oh. Maybe I'd like Gundyr more than I thought. I mean, I know I like Champion Gundyr quite a bit. One of my favorite bosses from this game. But, I don't know. Not perfect. Even the Dancer. I feel like the grab attack... Well, no, the grab attack's really easy to dodge. The grab attack does do a lot of damage, though. I'm trying to think of problems that I have with the Dancer. And there really aren't that many. And it's one of the only bosses in the game like that. Like, the Twin Princes are also one of my favorite bosses in this game, and in the series too. That goes for the Dancer and Champion Gundyr as well. There are some of my favorite bosses in this game, and some of my favorite bosses in the series. But, I don't know. It has some... They all have some issues. Like, the Twin Princes, their teleport into, like, instant slam is annoying. The attack where it has like where they slam down and there's a wave is unnecessarily difficult to dodge. I don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to take out one Black Knight before the other one attacks. Should be able to. I don't think they have that much health. Yeah. Not really. Nice and easy. No X. I recently used that in Dark Souls 1 during a stream. And it's really good. I think it's actually the best Black Knight weapon that I've used. Or, I mean, I've used all of them. But I think, in my opinion, it is the best Black Knight weapon, even over the Halberd. It does an absurd amount of damage. It's just annoying to get because you have to go down into the catacombs. Or, you know, in the kiln. And at that point, you're probably not going to be using it at all. I'm sure it drops off in effectiveness quite drastically after a new game. But anyway, Dark Firelink Shrine. I'm only here to get the Eyes of the Firekeeper and the Coiled Sword Fragment. So I feel like this game gives you enough bones to make the Coiled Sword Fragment kind of useless. But I don't know. It is nice to have infinite, especially if you're doing runs to get specific materials in specific areas. It's nice to just be able to have this instead of worrying about how many bones you do and don't have, whatever. Gotta get a good ending, of course. Then have the best music in the game start playing. So Lothric Castle is a level that I've never explored also. I know there are a lot of those, but I feel like Lothric Castle specifically is one that I haven't explored because I didn't find the first little part very fun. Like, you have the one red-eyed knight with the one that can, or with the cleric or whatever, that can heal it, which is really frustrating. Taking out the one that can heal it while dealing with the red eye one is just so frustrating because of how fast it attacks and how quickly it can move around the arena. And it's not like you can rush down. Like, if I just rush straight to this one, the Lothric Knight is still going to be able to attack. I killed it in one hit. I changed my whole mind. Normally I don't kill that in one hit, but I guess the Claymore is just too powerful. Will this stagger it? Okay. Cool. Guess it's not any harder to deal with than the normal ones. It just has more health and does more damage. I changed my mind. Never mind. This is easy. It's fine. Is this an ember? I think this is just an ember. Oh, it's a soul. Do you think this was this guy's friend? Why is he naked? You know what? It's fine. I don't need to worry about that. It's not important. He's dead now. But yeah, the two knights with the two guys here, it's two healers, is annoying. Especially when you don't know the healers are there, so the knights are just constantly getting healed. Come on, come down here. Faster. Ah, there you go. I suppose if the second healer isn't doing anything, though, and you just deal with them as they come instead of trying to run past them, it's not that bad, you know? It's almost like I was playing wrong the whole time. This is... this and the archives... more so the archives and the Archdragon Peak, actually. I'm kind of worried about not actually ending up liking them, regardless of how I play. Like in the Archdragon Peak, I know for sure the stone lizards are just really annoying, right? Regardless of what playstyle I've used, I've always found them extremely annoying to deal with. Same goes with the summoners, like the summoner that just creates Havel. That's really annoying. So I'm worried that I won't like Archdragon Peak. And again, with like in the archives, there were the gargoyles there, right? And I think that was one reason that I especially didn't like the archives. But we'll see how I end up feeling about it. And you have the enemy here that throws stuff that makes you not be able to heal, which if you're not expecting it can be annoying, but that just kind of forces you to play the video game better, and I think shows that the game doesn't expect you to play doesn't expect you to be able to play flawlessly in combat. Not necessarily to do that every single time, but for that to be an option. So, also these guys are pretty obvious, and they're extremely weak. So, this being an area that your healing can be nullified in, there aren't any actual ambushes. Actually, I don't know. Can you consider this part an ambush? I don't think you can. Are there 2 wing knights, or is it just one here? I don't remember. Should I go up first? I'm going to go up and then plunging attack. Is it just one? I always found this specific winged knight to be way more annoying than the one on the high wall, because the axes are really frustrating, especially when it starts like spinning around or whatever. But I do think it drops something good. Actually, it might just be the axes. Yeah, it's a much, much faster winged knight than the one on the high wall too, so that's probably part of it. So it's not that bad. Especially if you know it's there and can react accordingly, run up there so you're able to drop down on it. Take its lead, you know? Yeah. I was expecting that to kill that one. I'm glad I have stamina now. Also, I feel like you should be able to adapt to how much stamina you have and adjust your playstyle accordingly. Because like I'm playing a lot more, not necessarily aggressively, but I'm being a lot less careful about my stamina management. Partially because I've been playing Elden Ring, but also partially because, you know, I have enough stamina to be able to do that slightly better now. As you could see with my altercation with that Halberd Hollow. Also, what's the lore with these ones being bigger? Do they just kill more people so they have more souls or whatever? What's the deal with that? Well, I guess they exist as they did before they hollowed, right? So maybe they just were somewhat elite soldiers? I don't know. Also, I feel like it's probably expected to figure this out after you deal with the dragons. But because I already know, I'm going to run over here that I can get the bone shard. And then, of course, if you try to run across that bridge, you're just going to get absolutely evaporated. And of course, you have the 2+ of man down here that I really don't want to deal with. They drop chunks, but I think I have enough chunks. Yeah, I have enough chunks to get to +9. I could get it to a +10 if I traded my... What do you call it? The shard of the sword. Why can't I remember? What the heck? I literally just got it. Am I okay? I think I need help. The coiled sword fragment. You can trade that for a slab, so you don't have to wait until the archives. But I haven't been going out of my way to get extra upgrade materials before you're intended to, you know? So, like, you know, I didn't beat the dancer before Pontiff on purpose, which I normally would, so I could get to +7 or 8 before Pontiff. Or +9 even. But I just decided not to do that this time. Just because I want a more authentic experience to how most people play this game. Oh my god. Suffering from skill issue. It's a winged knight. Of course it's a winged knight. Why wouldn't it be a winged knight? Oh, it's just a halberd one though. Or poleaxe. Same thing. In this game, it's the same thing. I'm not a historical weapons expert, so it doesn't really matter. Uh-oh. Everything's fine. That didn't kill. Everything's fine. Also, those thieves, was there a way to see them coming? I don't think there was. Like, you might have been able to see them through these cracks if you looked back. But, like, where the hell did this one come from, huh? It probably showed up as at the same time as the other two, but, like, from where? What? I don't think it's feasible to say that that is an avoidable ambush. Like, even if it is... I don't care what that is. Even if it is technically completely avoidable if you know exactly where the enemies are, like, from a casual player perspective, that definitely doesn't feel like something that can be or is even supposed to be dismantled, you know? I don't know if that's just me or not, but definitely doesn't feel like an ambush you're supposed to avoid. It feels like you're one you're supposed to overcome. I kind of forgot I could buy boss stuff. I'm getting the big hat. Why am I getting the big hat? Because it's funny, obviously. Also, unironically, most of the time I play this game, I'll get the big hat just because I want to. So, big hat, leave me alone. Right. And now that these two are actually awake, I'm going to drop off at the first side of the bridge. I don't know if you can make it to the opposite side when they're, like, awake or whatever. I forgot to upgrade my weapon. It's fine. It doesn't matter. I'll be alright. Until I get in 6 more situations where the enemies just barely don't die. Because that happens really often for some reason. I feel like this is a situation where I should... Whoa. Rush down. Oh my god! Where did you come from? That one random enemy behind me topped with the Pus of Man screeching. Like, I know that was a different enemy, but it scared me. And I don't have my healing now, of course. Perfect time to lose that. I don't even know where the enemy is that does that. Prevents you from healing. See, this is what I mean. Backstabs are still extremely overpowered in this game. Regardless of how easy it is to initiate them. Dark Souls 2 is the only one that made it feel like you can't just backstab all enemies to death and be completely impervious while doing so. Because, you know, you can't in that game. But you can in Dark Souls 3, you can in Dark Souls 1. And I don't feel like the Bloodborne 2 Lothric Knights. I don't feel like the Bloodborne 3 Lothric Knights. The Bloodborne backstab system, sorry, would have worked very well in Dark Souls, personally. Though that might just be me. Oh god. That's a great sword. That's not the normal straight sword one. Is the only other great sword Lothric Knight the blue one? I don't even remember there being a great sword Lothric Knight, actually. The other one's just running away. Oh god. Oh god. Heal. Before I can't anymore. Because I have no idea where the enemy for that is. Why didn't that one stagger? Super armor is so cool. I've killed these two maybe once. I forgot they were here, but I've definitely known they were here before. Alright. I assume this other one isn't alive. There we go. A chunk. I didn't know they could drop chunks. Am I getting lucky, or are they guaranteed to drop chunks? Also, empty armor set? I think most of the armor sets over here are empty, like especially at the Dragon Barracks, for lore reasons, but I don't know what those lore reasons actually are, as much as I probably should. I also remember there being quite a few mimics here. Also maybe an Outrider Knight, but I don't remember what a raw gem. What, here? Anyway, I remember there being an Outrider Knight, but I don't remember if that's here in the castle or in the archives. Oh, hey, it's here in the castle. I think there's also one in the archives, but I don't quite remember. I just know that I don't like fighting these things. Oh my god. Drink faster. No, everything's fine. Does frostbite just make you recover stamina slower in this one? I know it does a lot of damage right off the bat, but I think it also makes you recover stamina slower. Also, these chests are oddly well hidden into the background. I didn't even see most of these at first. The chain is hidden. I'm just gonna make sure. Same for this one. That would be pretty awful to be fighting the Outrider Knight and then suddenly get attacked by a mimic that you didn't see behind you because you accidentally smacked it while fighting the Outrider Knight. Alright. Now, I don't know if it's possible to get through here without getting hit by the fire. Okay. It didn't use fire for a while. I guess it is possible. Though usually it'll use fire as soon as I step out there. That was a pretty unique experience. Also, there are a lot of hollows here. Like a lot of hollows here. Because they're the ones here. Oops. Stop it. Jeez. They're the ones up here, and then there are a few over there as well. And then there's the ones, you know, hidden down here, that this guy wakes up. So, yeah, there are, I think, 3 or 4 here. And then there's the Dark Souls 2 mimic here. So there's just a lot of enemies right here. And of course, that does mean that you get more Estus refills, I suppose. Yeah, like that. I got 2 in this room alone so far. Okay. I didn't know they spit. What, they have a spit attack? It whipped me with its tongue? I have no idea what the moveset on this thing is. I don't know it at all. I've only fought the normal ones enough to do that. Also, a symbol of avarice. I don't know how many mimics there are in this game, but I definitely haven't even come close to killing all of them. I straight up did not see these guys in solo. They were actively getting up and I was grabbing the item. So maybe that one was on me. I don't know if they share the same moveset as they do in Dark Souls 2, but I think the Dark Souls 1 ones are at least extremely similar. I need fire bombs. I don't want to fight this thing without her melee. Though fighting at range is also pretty awful, because it'll just spit curse juice all over the ground. I'm going to come over here and make sure that there are no enemies that are going to attack me. There's a lot of chunks here. Wow. I always forget about that. Like, I know there are a lot because I always come here to get chunks, but forget how many there actually are. 20 fire bombs. Okay, this will be easy, at least. Give it a good smack. I don't know if that actually takes damage. Okay, no, it does not. Only the dragon does. Hit it with a fire bomb. Run in. Smack. Run out. And wait for the fire immunity that it has for some reason to wear off. See, curse juice. Oh my god. That's such an annoying attack. Jeez. Gotta wait for it. Ah! That actually scared me. I didn't realize I was that close to the edge. I gotta wait for the curse to wear off anyway, so that's fine. That's so annoying. I hate that attack so much. I don't know if you can roll through it or not. It doesn't look like you can roll through it. Alright, come on, target, please. Let me throw a firebomb. And then attack. Oh. Attack! No! Okay, everything's fine. And I get drops 2 chunks, too. Oh, just a shard? Okay, there we go, 2 chunks, yeah. So you just get a ton of chunks here. Which makes sense, because there's not much of the game left. And the rest of the game bombards you with all the chunks. So, or all the shards and large shards. So I guess this is the only part of the game that they have to actually bombard you with chunks. So it does make sense. And now I don't think this one will wake up at all ever. Though it does have the pus in its foot, so don't know if I'll go over there and get that. I have no idea what all these items are. I just want to grab them because brainworms. Okay, now I can run up and go in there, unlock that, and actually progress through the level. Oh hey, an item. Oh hey, an enemy I missed. That's always so satisfying. That will never not be satisfying. It's also cool that there are firebomb hollows that have the chance to drop firebombs, and also, you know, that static firebomb drop right there. I think that's good because of the Pus of Man, or rather the Pus of Dragon, I guess. I believe there is a healer or multiple healers in this area before, or that will help this guy. But I guess I'll find out. Also, I didn't realize that this was just a normal Lothric Knight with a greatsword. I thought this was like a special one, like a bigger one. I don't know why. I suppose it doesn't matter if there is a healer. I hear one though. Okay, up here. There might be other Lothric Knights down here though. Is there another Lothric Knight? There is another Lothric Knight. Uh-oh. I need to take this one out before it attacks me, so that it doesn't get healed in the middle of the fight. Also, this game gives you so many umbers. Wow. You can't really rush this one down like you can with the other one because it turtles a lot. Got a hoplite over here. Oh god. I do like that the weapon art stances make them like more vulnerable, even though they have super armor. So not really, but if you're confident that you'll be able to take them out before they actually do the attack, I think it's cool that the weapon art stance does make them more vulnerable. Also, that's a pretty good shortcut too, especially after you take out the dragon. However, it's also right next to the boss. Though I guess it does kind of make sense because you're choosing to either run past one relatively strong enemy with the healer, you know. Where does it go? Okay, it doesn't work right now. I was going to say, pretty sure that goes back up, or all the way up to the Twin Princes, right? Anyway, so I guess it's a choice to run past one relatively difficult enemy and a healer, or, you know, two slightly easier enemies with a couple healers. But with this elevator being right in front of the boss, I feel like most people are going to take this route instead of going all the way from the Dragon Barracks bonfire. But in terms of level progression, that little spot is kind of like a spike in difficulty. Not a big one, but definitely a spike in difficulty. So it also makes sense that there's a shortcut there. Even if it, you know, it's right at the end of the level. It would be annoying to die there and have to run all the way back through the level. Especially through the area with all the hollows throwing fire bombs and stuff at you. Now, I didn't know that the whole area, like, past the Dragonslayer Armour, like that whole area through the door there even existed. And there's not really anything over there that I need. There's no reason for me to go over there, so I'm just going to fight the Dragonslayer Armour right now. Alright. The Dragonslayer Armour is one, like I said, is one of my favorite bosses in this game. The biggest problem with it is that it turtles a lot, but I think that's just teaching you, or not teaching you, but telling you, hey, don't attack at neutral, because it will be blocking. And then for a lot of bosses, you know, like I said with Champion Gundyr earlier, if you're attacking at neutral, you're probably going to get hit, like with a kick. I forgot to upgrade again. It's fine. Plus 8 is more than enough for Dragonslayer Armour. Not a particularly difficult fight, though very reaction-based. Lot of damage there, wow. Being able to get a heavy attack. Oh god. Another heavy attack? Whoa. Is this a real stagger? That's crazy. I didn't know it even could actually stagger. Also, the butterflies, like, their attacks are telegraphed pretty well, I think. But it does kind of come out of nowhere, especially if you don't know that it can happen. Though they do kind of make loud noises, so I don't know. But again, this game has a lot of ambient screeching, so I don't know if that's good as a tell or not. I don't think it is, personally. Though the massive laser sound might be. Skill issue. Okay, wait. Now heal. I didn't know that one even had a follow-up. Is that a guaranteed follow-up? I need to be better at the video game, I think. It's not a guaranteed follow-up. Ouch. Huh. Okay. I should be fine as long as I don't get greedy. Let me attack you. Don't get greedy. There we go. That, I definitely would have missed if that wall wasn't there, or that edge wasn't there. We would have jumped away farther. But anyway, that's a good boss. I like that boss. It's fun. I have played more Elden Ring since last time I recorded. This is a different recording session. So if I haven't improved at all, that's why. I also have my window open and my fan on, so hopefully that's not too terrible a sound. So the archives, like I've said, I didn't like the archives anytime I've played it. And I'm kind of worried that I won't like it, despite liking, or I don't know, there are a lot of levels where I don't like the level, but I'm enjoying the game enough that the level isn't really dampening my experience all that much. And I think that's going to be my experience with the archives, because it definitely was my experience with the castle. Well, I don't know. I kind of liked a good portion of the castle, actually. I guess we'll see what my experience ends up being. Um, I believe I'm going to be constantly bombarded by the sage here until I take it out. But yeah, again, this isn't an area that I've ever gone through solely. Ooh, because by the time I got here, I have tried, but I really only did it on the upper floors because I was trying to look for an item. But yeah, largely, by the time I got here in my first playthrough, I was kind of just done with this game because I, wasn't playing it on its own terms. And at that point, I was just kind of running past everything and not experiencing the game as I probably should have in my first playthrough. So this, if anything, this will be more similar to a blind playthrough. Like I know where my ultimate goal is, right? I got waxed. I know where my ultimate goal is, right? But I don't know what lies on the way there. Also, getting waxed like that decreases your fire absorption, so you take more damage from fire. But they don't do fire damage at all, despite it. I forgot about that. Having candles on their forehead, which is weird. Even though, I mean, there are the thralls and firebomb hollows that will deal fire damage, but it's just like not common. There's a lever here. What does this do? I'm hearing sounds. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, this. Okay. This is new. To me, anyway. I don't think I've ever done this before. Power Within. Really? Power Within is here? I must have gotten that before. Because I've gotten all the pyromancies. I have that achievement. I guess I just didn't remember at all. Does chaos work in this game like it does in Dark Souls 1? Like the... Ouch, 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 ouch. Like the no stat scaling. Well, is it like stronger when you're embered since there's no humanity in this game? I'm not sure. Okay, cool. Got it before it could move. Don't have to be cursed. Okay, yeah. This is also partially why I ran through, because the Crystal Sage is constantly attacking you. So it kind of makes sense that you need to rush it down, right? Oh my god. Yeah, see, these things do fire damage, and I assume it's because, or not because, but I assume the wax does, or decreases fire absorption because of that. Oh my god, stop. Like gameplay-wise, anyway. Oh god, and I forgot the wax did that. Out of here. Jeez. I don't like that sound. Stop making that sound. I don't like being waxed. There's definitely a pun in there somewhere. Hey, fire bombs. What do you know? Fire damage in the area where you'll be taking more fire damage most of the time if you're not dodging properly. It's crazy. You also don't want to get cursed, right? So running through feels like the correct response in a lot of scenarios. I don't think it's going to teleport away from here. Well, even if it tried, it wouldn't have been able to. Okay. So now I don't need to worry about running through to get rid of that. Though the level progression might be a little different because I was running through. Oh god. Can I push it off the cliff? No. Darn. Come here, what? What are you doing? What are you doing? What? No super armor. I don't remember how poise works in this game, but I know it is mostly super armor. Oh my god. Ow. Jesus, that hurt. Trying to hit me off the cliff. That's my job. That one was really strong. That also probably doesn't help that I missed my first attack, but that's beside the point. Yeah, I don't know. It's running through this level, through a good portion of this level, does feel like the appropriate response, though, because it feels like everything is encouraging that. The Crystal Sage on top of the curse. Like, you have to run past it to not get cursed, because it's constantly building up, even as you're dodging. I don't know. I feel like it just kind of makes sense to end up running through a good portion of it. Oh my god. Apparently I'm terrible at gauging distance. Stop being waxed. Oh god. I was expecting it to wear off faster than that. I haven't gotten any... I guess there haven't been many enemies to get Estus drops from. I haven't gotten many Estus drops regardless. Being at 6 Estus, it is not a common occurrence, is it? And the best part is, it's not even because I'm good at the game. It's just because the game is so generous with how much Estus it gives you. You don't need to be good at Dark Souls 3. I used to think that Dark Souls 3 was the hardest. I think I disagree with that now. There's no reason for me to go down there, I don't think. Okay, so I think the next step is going out onto the roof somewhere. I don't quite remember where, though. Also, I think this is an illusory wall with an Outrider name behind it. Yeah. I don't like the Outrider Knights. I've gone over that, though. They attack way too fast, and they build up frost when you don't even get hit. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. I attack slower than I'm expecting because Elden Ring. I swear it's not my fault. It's all Elden Ring's fault. Oh god. Elden Ring delay too, jeez. I don't know. I feel like other people have said this quite a bit before, but how you play each game, or playing each game rather, kind of informs how you should play other games in the series. Because like I said, playing Dark Souls 3 and understanding it and liking it more made me like Elden Ring a lot more. I still don't like a lot of the bosses or whatever, but generally that doesn't matter because you could just rush them down with a summon or whatever. But like I said, when I played Dark Souls 1, after playing Elden Ring, I started using the jump attacks and stuff a lot more often, which I basically didn't use the first time I played Elden Ring, or sorry, Dark Souls 1. And like when I played Elden Ring, or since I've played Elden Ring, it's informing more how I tackle Dark Souls 3, to a lesser degree, but like I'm trying to think how to use certain things like my environment to my advantage, more so than just kind of dealing with the enemy at its face. But also like trying to be more aggressive. Though, to be honest, I don't think Dark Souls 3 expects you to be as aggressive as Elden Ring does, especially given how much more like super armor matters in Elden Ring. Like that, I would have been able to do without getting hit once, right, in Elden Ring. So I shouldn't be playing like I'm playing Elden Ring, but I should be letting how I play Elden Ring inform how I play Dark Souls 3. And, that generally goes for all the games. All the games inform how to play all the other games as well. But, like, there's a limit to that, right? Because a lot of people play Dark Souls 3 like they play Dark Souls 1. And when I tried that, I had a lot less fun with it. But when I actually, took Dark Souls 3 at its terms and played Dark Souls 3 as Dark Souls 3 expected me to play, not like Dark Souls 1, I started enjoying it a lot more. So, I mean, if you enjoy playing this game like you play Dark Souls 1, that's totally valid and you should play how you enjoy. But I just do not enjoy playing this game like Dark Souls 1 at all, despite so many people saying that that's how I should be playing. I've always got this elevator confused for the one that takes you to the Twin Princes where you can get the slab. I still haven't upgraded to +9. I should probably do that. I'll do that next time I get to a bonfire. But, yeah, because then I wouldn't have to deal with that. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the elevator. I always get that confused with the one that you find the slab at, and I don't know why. Like the first several times that I played the game. Like, oh, okay, this is where I get the slab. And then there was no bottom elevator or whatever. And I was just so confused because of that. I'm just completely misremembering. I think a lot of my experience with this game is characterized by misremembering it. Like, why I didn't like a lot of the game is just simply misremembering it. And then, evidently, a lot of my experiences are, more than just my opinion on the game. Ugh, I wish being waxed didn't last so long, and also didn't make such an awful noise. Okay. Oh god. I feel like it's impossible to avoid taking damage from these guys when you're trying to get certain items. Which means, personally, I feel like this level should be more likely to give you Estus drops, like the Candle Deacons or whatever. I feel like should have a higher chance of giving you Estus drops just because there is essentially unavoidable damage if you're going for certain items. Alright, let's see. I think I might have to deal with more than one gargoyle at a time. But that also might just be because I ran past everything every time I went through here. And you don't actually need to deal with multiple. Oh, come on. Well, I don't know why I expect that range to be so much longer than it actually is. There we go. Didn't move at all. You get so many chunks here. Jeez. Like, I know I said that, but, like, wow, you get a lot of chunks here. And again, it does make sense, because the rest of the game gives you the other two kinds of crafting materials, but it only has this part of the game to give you all the chunks that you'll ever get in the game. So, it does make sense, but... Oh my god! Okay. What? Stagger? Okay. Nice and easy. Gargoyles are really not that bad. I always thought they were bad just because I ran past, and their diving stab attack is kind of annoying to dodge. At least for me, I find it kind of difficult. I assume that one attacks me if I try to get rid of the crystal lizards. Yep. Where is it? What? Hello? It ascended and disappeared, I guess. Where'd it go? What? Is it just not going to attack me now? Okay, I guess. Strange. Unless it's just telling you, hey, you're going to be attacked by it later? No, this is a different one. That one had a torch, didn't it? Oh god, there's another one. Ouch. Okay, maybe that is what that was? Just telling you that you were going to have to fight multiple? Or that I was going to have to fight that one, and if I didn't say it, I should probably expect it. Okay, fighting multiple of them makes you deal with that attack significantly more often. Just because of what makes them do that. You know, being far away from them, and you kind of need to give yourself some space from them. Jeez. Words are hard. Leave me alone. And then, you know, of course, that will make them use the attack that I don't like. Where'd the other one go? Did it jump off the roof or something? What? Okay, yeah, it did jump off. Okay, come on. What? Why didn't that stagger it? I'm so confused. I don't understand what causes it to stagger. Jeez. Anyway, that's not too bad, I guess, assuming their AI makes them do that often. If that only happens infrequently, that can definitely still be extremely annoying, because dealing with multiple of those enemies at the same time does not feel good. Their movesets definitely don't feel like they're made to work together, just like the giant crystal lizards from earlier. Again, also, this game gives you a lot of embers. That's a good shortcut, too, so you don't have to deal with the gargoyles again, because I can definitely see that being annoying. The game only expects you to go through it once, you know, because it's a one-time, somewhat difficult thing. These NPCs, they don't respawn, so it's not that bad, but they are still pretty annoying to deal with all at once. Can I... Okay, at least I can kite 2 of them at a time, instead of having to deal with all 3 at once, and then one of them is ranged, so... And of course, one is the mage, so you have the DPS, or I mean the tank, the mage, and the, you know, the archetype. You know what it is. You get it. You've played RPGs before. Oh my god. Okay, this one's not ranged, primarily. It doesn't look like. I think I've used that katana before. It's really fun. I like its weapon art. Oh, come on. The third one noticed me. Oh my god. Okay, gotta be real careful. Use the pillars to my advantage. Oh, come on. Kind of hard to do when I simply can't see all of them. Jeez. Okay, gotta be more careful about this one. See, that's why I use heavy attacks instead of jumping attacks. Because you have that kind of versatility. I wouldn't have been able to... Here's another heal. I wouldn't have been able to... Or I would have been hit if I had used a jumping attack there. But because I used... Stop it! Oh my god. Because I used the strong attack, I didn't get hit by that. Fighting these three at once is awful. Jesus. This is so bad. And I want to be very clear, because for some reason people tend to think... Or tend to not default to this. I don't think it's bad because it's hard. I think it's bad because it's possible for them to stagger their attacks in a way that makes it impossible to avoid. And that makes it kind of just up to luck sometimes. And like when that happens, you know, you should be dodging, obviously. Oh, cool. But sometimes that's really just not, it's literally just not possible to dodge all of it at once. Oh, come on. Oh my god. Then the mage aggroed, of course. Gotta rush this one down. Nice. Okay, I didn't even get to heal, because I'm just that cool. I don't know, I think maybe it just kind of requires a different way of playing than most other encounters. Because, like, you're gonna get hit doing this, right? You're gonna get hit during this fight, and there's not really anything you can do to avoid that completely. But I don't know. They don't have much health, so it's kind of built around that. Only 2 heals, at least. I wish I only had 1 heal. But oh well. I'm surprised I was able to take them all out at once, instead of having to deal with one at a time. Usually I'll kill one and then die on accident, but you know, I was actually able to take out all 3 of them, only healing once. I think that's mostly because I got lucky and was able to rush the first one down really quickly. When it's only 2 of them, it's not nearly as bad, obviously, because you're just dealing with less attacks at that point. A lot of the time, also, what will happen is... Oh, there's a shortcut here. I forgot about that. I don't know where this goes. Uh-oh! I didn't... Will I be okay? Yeah. Okay. I have no idea where this goes. I was just checking this. Oh, it's here. Okay. Cool. I feel like it would have also made sense to just put a bonfire there, but that works too, I guess. Makes it feel more interconnected or whatever. So normally what I would have also done, or at least the first few times I fought them, was I would lure them up to a different area. I would kite them around and kind of just take out the one that got to me first. So like, I would run up here, and then one of them would come up here faster than the others. I would do a little bit of damage to it, and then run away and do the same thing over and over. There are 3 gold-winged knights up here. I think it's 3. And they are so unfun and annoying from what I remember, just because there are multiple of them at the same time. Like, if it was just one-on-one, where you fight one and then the next one shows up and then you fight the next one, like, it wouldn't be that bad. But because there are 3 of them all at once, it's awful. Because, again, their movesets don't feel like they're made to work together. Oh my god, see? And they respawn, so it's not like I can pick one off and then come back and do the same thing. I think they respawn. I'm like 90% sure they respawn. Let me fact check that real quick. Also, I'm totally willing to admit that that death was my fault. I'm not saying, see, like, it's unfair. I'm saying, like, see, this isn't fun. They attack way too often and stagger their attacks in a way that isn't fun. Not that, I should have somehow been able to win there despite just spamming the R1 button. I'm totally understanding that I was not playing the way I should have been there. Okay, I just killed one, so if I die again, we'll see if they respawn. But I want to see if I can kite them individually, because if you can, this isn't that bad. Where's the axe one? I don't know where the axe one is. I found it. I found the axe one. I really don't want to deal with multiple at once. Oh my god, stop! Jeez. Your combo doesn't need to be that long. Oh god. What the hell? Oh my god, stop spinning! Jeez! Their moveset solo apparently isn't fun to deal with. Just because they attack way too much. Uh-oh. There we go. Oh my god, that delay. I was expecting that to backstab. Does this one have less health? Oh my god! Jesus, stop, wait. Okay, we're good, everything's fine. Oh my god. Okay, that seems like a free backstab opportunity that I should have been taking advantage of. Cool. Oh, a slab? Okay, I don't know you got a slab for killing all three of them. That means... Well, I mean, I could have gotten to +10 anyway, because the next slab is right in front of us, but... means I can get to a +10 sooner than I thought. I will come back up here to see if they respawn, but I'm pretty sure they do. If they don't, then they're not as bad as I thought they were, but they still suck. It seems to be a theme where I... Is this a... What the heck? What's the point of this? It seems to be a theme where I say something is difficult or annoying, and then die, and then immediately come back and do it flawlessly. Not flawlessly, but like... I got all three of them at once, and then same with the 3 NPCs. But... I think that just ends up being luck. That's increased dex, I think. Just kind of useless for me since I'm doing heavy claymore. Hey, Estus Shard. I forgot that was here too. Right. This is, once again, another area that I have exclusively ever ran through. I've never actually fought all the enemies on this bridge. From my perspective, it doesn't feel like you're supposed to, right? Because it's just a lot of enemies. Like, it's just way too many enemies. But... Ouch. But it's not, like, overly difficult to take all of them out, because most of them are pretty weak enemies. And the ones that aren't are ones that you've seen in groups before, except for, like, the stronger Lothric Knights up near the top. Actually, I don't remember if the Lothric Knights up near the top are stronger than normal ones. I guess that will be fact checked soon. There's a Lothric Knight. Yeah, that's a different color than the other ones, I assume. That means it's stronger. And it's red-eyed. Oh, it's blue. I didn't know there were more blue knights. I knew that. Like, I knew they were here. I just didn't know they were blue. Alright, let's see how awful I am at this game. Dang, this game's hard. What the hell? Why am I having trouble with this game if I can deal with one of the elite enemies in an encounter that quickly? Huh? I guess it's much harder when they come in groups. Right, and I think there are 3 more? Yeah, 2 spears and then the greatsword one. Get this one. Come on. Get it to chase me, hopefully. So I don't have to deal with all 3 at once. Come here. What are you doing? Dang. Nice try. Okay. I would also prefer to kite this one. Come on. Come here. Okay. Or not. Gonna make me fight both of you. This one seems to be a lot more aggressive, at least. Unless it's buffing. Come here. Thanks. I meant the jump attack there, actually. Because that takes you farther forward. Okay. Right. Super armor. Can't forget about super... Oh, that was so much damage! Ow. Counter damage, because it's a thrusting weapon. I forgot. Okay, be careful. Oh. I pressed the roll button an extra time, and it didn't work. I didn't get hit, but, like, it just didn't roll. And I'm pretty sure I had plenty of stamina. But evidently, for some reason, I didn't roll. Alright, that wasn't that bad. Certainly not, like, annoying or whatever, but definitely not what I would call fun. Especially the 3 Lothric Knights at the end. Like, kiting one and then running away isn't fun, but fighting more than one at once also isn't fun. I don't know. And it's not like it's objectively not fun. It's, again, I want to be very clear that it's just something that I don't personally enjoy. What? Why did I just get an Estus Flask refill? Where did that come from? What died? Did the dragon just die? What? Huh? Where even is that? I'm gonna run down to the dragon barracks and see if that's what happened. Yeah, the dragon's not there. Why did it die? Does that happen normally? Does that always die when you get there, or... What? That's so strange. I've never seen that happen before. Or if I did see it happen, I don't remember it. I'm going to give you cursed knowledge. I didn't realize this for the longest time, but that statue is a primordial serpent. I don't know if it's specifically supposed to be Framjakoth, but that is a primordial serpent. There's another one that is far worse that I want to point out, though. I don't know where you actually find the statue, but I'm going to put a picture of it up on screen. I had no idea that they looked like that until Tori Kasuda pointed it out to me. Anyway, you should go watch her channel. I'll put a link in the description and in the card or whatever. Alright, so the Twin Princes are one of my favorite bosses in the game, like I said. They're not super difficult. I like them. My biggest grievance by far is like the teleport into instant slam, basically. That attack can be annoying. But overall, the fight really flows really well, especially with heavy weapons, which is what I prefer using. But even if you're using a light weapon, figuring out how many hits you can get and stuff between swings, or between dodges, I mean, is really fun. It is very reaction-based, but regardless, like, I don't dislike reaction-based gameplay. I think it has its place. Largely, I just prefer the other kind. But again, this is one of my favorite bosses in the series, so that's not a rule by any means. Oop. I don't know how I dodged that. Just that cool, I guess. I didn't dodge that one, though. And then, of course, we get the second phase where we also get the magic, which can be annoying, but largely the magic is staggered in a way from the normal attack, or from the melee attacks, that it's not that difficult to dodge. And it kind of just makes the dodging windows a little tighter. And then, of course, this phase kind of makes you attack from behind. Of course, you can do damage. Oh god, I'm not going to dodge this properly. Oh my god. Ah! Anyway, so this phase also kind of teaches you how to deal with the first phase, because it is a lot easier if you get behind them. You can kind of just dodge attacks via positioning in that way. And of course you can damage Lothric after taking out Lorien, but it's easier if you do it like this and take them out at the same time. And of course that's easier with heavy weapons, but... Oh, good. Oh, God. Skeleton. Need to heal. Don't get greedy. Wow, I heal a lot. There we go. Nice and easy. First try. Really, really good fight. They're really fun. They didn't do the teleport into instant slam. It might actually have a tell that I've just never noticed before they actually teleport. Because I did notice they start doing wind-ups before they actually teleport, and I've never noticed that before. Alright, Archdragon Peak. So far, I've been proven wrong on every level. I've genuinely just kind of enjoyed most levels so far. There are a few exceptions, like the instances where I was fighting multiple gargoyles at once in the archives, or the instance rather. The Winged Knights was kind of a drawn-on battle if you kite them one by one, and not impossibly, but annoyingly difficult, I suppose, if you kill them one at a time, or sorry, all three at once. So, like, generally, this game is a lot better, and I'm liking it a lot more than I remember, but it's certainly... Oh my god, why are you attacking so much? Generally, I'm enjoying this game a lot more than I thought I would. Now, I do think I have an RSI right now, so if it starts hurting, I'm going to stop playing, obviously. So if I just kind of stop in the middle of the session and pick it up randomly, that's why. But assuming that doesn't happen, generally, again, this is probably my least favorite level in the game because of everything I've mentioned throughout the entire game. I feel like it all culminates here. However, if it is truly a culmination of the whole game, then chances are I'll end up enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. Because that seemed to have happened throughout the entire rest of the game. Oh, there's another one, of course. I went around the stone, of course. Or right above the stone. That I was kind of counting on for protection. So immediately off the bat, this is a lot more enemies. Or not a lot more, but a lot more of a somewhat difficult enemy all thrown at you at once than pretty much anywhere else in the game. Like, there have been other areas with just as many enemies, but they aren't nearly as aggressive. So this is definitely a jump in difficulty, and I didn't think that specific part was that fun to go through. But again, I guess it wasn't all that bad because it was just, a few enemies. Now, full disclosure, I did already activate this bonfire because I came into Archdragon Peak because I was getting prepared for the next recording session, and then I needed to check if the Golden Winged Knights respawn, which they do. I did put that in text in the video. I already have that edited, which is why I want to record this, because I want to get this done and upload this so it's ready to go up when I want it to. Now, I'm not sure if I should have run through this boss fight, the Wyvern fight, just because I don't know if the game expects you to. I always have, because, the entire goal of the boss fight is to beat the boss, and anything else there is just kind of extra, right? Oh, of course, there's a second one. This guy is huge. But at the same time, it also doesn't really feel like an actual boss fight, just kind of a chunk of level. Can I not backstab this guy? I thought I could. That's really slow. I suppose his main difficulty comes from being stacked with another enemy, huh? On their own, they're not that difficult. Though I think the ones with other kinds of weapons tend to be faster, which will probably make them significantly more difficult. Though that could also just be an instance of me completely misremembering what's going to happen. Are there any items over here? Any goodies? I mean, I wouldn't call you a goodie, but sure. Somehow Elden Ring is the only of the Souls games, or, FromSoft Souls-likes, that has an even remotely attractive manserpent. And even then, that could be arguable. Okay, so obviously I'm going to run past this part, and that's from pure trial and error experience. I don't know exactly how you're expected to figure out that you're supposed to run past it. Probably just the fact that you don't do any damage to it. Ow. I don't know why I'm expecting it to attack faster. I've played this game so much, I should know at this point. There we go. Whoa! Hey there. Calm down. Maybe it does expect you to run past a lot of the things here. Though, the thing that kind of makes me think otherwise is, first of all, the enemy that shoots fireballs behind you on the long bridge section. And also, more importantly, the ladder. Yeah, okay. With the dragon constantly shooting in the exact same spot, I am led to the exact opposite conclusion, that you're not expected to run through here. That you are, in fact, expected to fight in all these perfectly chosen arenas here. Because it's very clearly designed for you to have a couple safe spaces to fight, but you need to be careful of your positioning so you don't get obliterated by the fire. Okay, so this is the bridge. No, it's not. Hi there. Yeah, okay. This is just a Dark Souls 3 level. Very normal Dark Souls 3 level, but this time with a wyvern that can potentially breathe fire on you. See, that's what I'm expecting to happen when I attack during times that I shouldn't be attacking. But, of course, it doesn't usually happen like that because, I don't know, I'm bad at the video game, I guess. Yeah, this enemy, I believe, is the one... Whoa, never mind. I believe the enemy that shoots fireballs at you while you're on the bridge is up here. Okay, that's pretty easy. I don't know why I always expect the big ones to be far harder than they actually are. Wait, where am I? I thought... Yeah, going across that bridge. It must be this one. I see. Okay. I am now significantly less confused. I should have drinking more water before... Drinking? Should have drank more water before starting recording, but it's fine. Probably. Now this spot is the other thing that kind of leads me to believe that you are not intended to, ouch, run past because of the ladder. Oh, okay. That makes my life easier. Ouch. That doesn't. Oh god. Here we go. Okay. I have changed my mind completely. It definitely does not feel like you're supposed to run past. Oh god. This fight isn't exactly difficult when you don't run past, but it is significantly easier. Or it's not difficult when you do run past, but it's significantly easier when you don't. Which, once again, seems to be my experience for most of Dark Souls 3. Though, I don't think this specific boss area design is very indicative of the qualities of Archdragon Peak as a whole, at least not in my experience. Because it definitely does feel like it's designed for you to be able to run through, even if that's not like the intended thing. There you go. I am so glad I didn't just inexplicably phase through the dragon's head. Or sorry, the wyvern's head. That definitely has happened multiple times before. Dragon head. Don't mind if I do. Anyway. So that bell is the same bell as the summoners, right? Does that mean that you're summoned here by one of those enemies? Or something similar? Now the brass set, I have enough vitality to wear it. The brass set is my favorite armor set in Dark Souls 1. I don't think that holds true here. Okay. Now this is an instance where I do think it is, or it makes sense to sprint past certain enemies. Is that supposed to be Oscar? I cannot get a good look at him while I'm just sprinting on. Anyway, I feel like it makes sense to run to the summoner slash ranged attack user while fighting, you know, an enemy like this. No, I don't think that's supposed to be Oscar. It's very similar though. Or at least Dark Souls 1 cover knight. Drakeblood Greatsword, that sounds cool. Too bad the Claymore is the coolest sword in the game though. Anyway, yeah, so sprinting to the casters and summoners makes total sense to me. Just because of how Dark Souls 3 expects you to engage with its level design. I think is this before the... Oh, you can just come back here immediately. Okay, I had no idea. I think I'm going to avoid exploring it quite as thoroughly, this level quite as thoroughly as I would other levels. Once again, just because I have that repetitive strain injury and I kind of want to get this video done as soon as possible. The DLC will be its own video, so no need to worry about that being hampered in any way. Whoa! Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey now. Stop it. Okay, goodbye, I guess. Jesus. Okay, maybe I should be looking around corners. That might be an instance of, hey, by the way, look around corners, idiot. Which is totally on me. At least in tight spaces like that, it makes sense too. Though that is very much a situational thing. Because, like, especially in the, what do you call it? The Smoldering Lake. Jeez, okay. Especially, like, in the Smoldering Lake, it was pretty obvious that you're not supposed to do that every time, and doing that is not going to work a lot of the time. Which is fine. I think it does totally make sense to test multiple abilities. Oh my god, let me out! I hate that. I got parried. I didn't know they could parry you. Let me down. Jesus. Okay, I really don't like that they can lock you or corner you into a wall. That's not very fun. That's why the rolling stagger thing exists. But like, I wouldn't have been able to attack there had they not let me get out for a second. These things are so slow. Ah! This one's not. Okay. Why did that stagger me for so long? What? There we go. That entire time I was staggered, I was mashing the roll button. So that wasn't an instance of me just not reacting to being staggered. I was genuinely completely staggered there. I don't think I've ever been up here. I have not thoroughly explored this level ever because I haven't really found a want to. Huh. Okay, just that one ring. Dark Souls 2 and 3, I don't have all the achievements in. I do in Dark Souls 1, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring. In fact, I had all the achievements in Elden Ring by like 80 hours after of playtime, which was a couple weeks after the game came out. And it was only that long after the game came out because I had work. I totally would have played way more. But Bloodborne took me around 60-ish hours to get all the achievements in. Dark Souls 1, I didn't have all the achievements till like 150, 200 hours. Oh my god. Anyway. So this might be a good opportunity to try to get all the rings, but I don't know if I need to do quest lines to get rings in New Game, because I know New Game and New Game Plus drops change. I don't know if it's just me, but it definitely does not feel like I am doing enough damage to warrant killing all of these guys. Like from a this is my first time playing the game perspective. Same goes with like the slugs, right? Or the slimes, rather. Oh, that lands? I didn't know that landed. Anyway, it definitely doesn't feel like you're supposed to kill all of them, even though this place is god-awful with them here, because they'll just like roll into you constantly. Oh god. What the heck was that? Insignificantly worse hitboxes. I assume that was supposed to be like a tail swipe or something. What the? Much worse hitboxes. Jeez. This definitely does not feel like what I'm intended to do. What are these hitboxes? Centipede demon over here. Jesus. What? That time its tail didn't even touch me. Okay. I don't know if it's worth it to fight this thing. Dark Souls 2 is the one with the bad hitboxes. Like, huh? How was I supposed to dodge that? What even hit me? Was that a stomp? Is that what that was supposed to be? There we go. Finally. I assume this thing doesn't respawn. I hope it doesn't. 6 Titanite chunks. Jesus. Okay, so that dragon is the main reason I run through here most of the time. Or, sorry, that wyvern. All the dragons are dead or whatever. Lore. But these enemies are also another reason I usually run through here. Because again, it doesn't feel like I'm supposed to be killing them. Just because of how much health they have. They don't do much damage, though. Or rather, how much resistance they have. Oh my god. And their movesets are incredibly frustrating. And they can attack way quicker than I can. Meaning they can just stun lock me if I try to attack at all. So yeah, no, I don't know. That one's kind of on me, to be honest. I should not be attempting to spam R1 or hit trade. I need to get in a good position before attacking, I think. So that's my fault. But I do think it's really annoying that they attack so quickly. Once again, because, or rather also partially because they can just push you into a wall and you just can't do anything about it. And their fast attacks can make it so you literally can't escape that no matter what you do, unless you happen to have a fast weapon. Okay. See, and now, from experience, I already know that's a caster. So I'm going to rush up to it, right? Ow! Ow! Ow. Sounds oddly like a dog. Godskin Noble over here. Is that Ricard's? Are you using Ricard's rapier right now? Are we stooping that low? That is Ricard's rapier. I said that as a joke. Alright, and we are at Nameless King. Which means it's boss time. I would explore. Well, I don't know. I don't feel like I've gotten a good lay of the level. I don't understand the level and what it's trying to do. Like, so far, it has been a few enemies and like basically a straight hallway, and then a small ambush, and then like the two casters, and then the Drake fight, and that's been the whole level. And it doesn't feel like it's trying to do anything specific. And it might not be, but like it's hard for me to give an opinion on such a nothing level, you know? Like the Drake fight is annoying. Great, what now? So right now, my opinion on Archdragon Peak is that it has some annoying enemies in a corridor. Has said that I should be watching out for ambushes, even though I haven't been ambushed yet. Should be focusing on the summoners and casters, which there have been two of. Has had an annoying boss, or rather a nothing boss, and an annoying, boring, slow mini boss, and that's all that I have for Archdragon Peak right now. So, like, what is this level? I know a lot of people really like this level, but why? Is it just Nameless? Do people like this level just for Nameless? In my recollection, I don't like Nameless very much, including the time that I fought him with the Great Corvian Scythe. So, I don't know, I guess we'll see. Oh my god. Is this it? Like, is this the whole level? Am I missing something? I feel like I have to be missing something, but like, this level sucks. This might be my least favorite level in Dark Souls 3, just because it's nothing. Like, the dungeon is annoying in a cool way, right? Because it's like scary and weird. And you're being constantly bombarded and ambushed, and that's fun in that context, right? But this level is just nothing. Irithyll, you have dogs, I guess. Those are annoying. Oh my god, you can just unlock these things. Like, the dogs in Irithyll are annoying, especially combined with the magic casters. But, I don't know. I just they have a semblance of a challenge that can be satisfying to overcome. This level's just nothing. Am I alone in this? I hope I'm not. I hope people agree with me. Because I do not understand. Do you poke? Imagine getting poked. Couldn't be me. Definitely has never happened to me ever. And will not happen to me 700 times. Oh my god, there are two big ones when fighting Nameless. Never. Ah, no. That stuns you for so long. With no iframes because Dark Souls 3. Oh my god, of course there's a rock lizard. Why wouldn't there be a rock lizard? Is this really the level? Is this the thing that we're going to end Dark Souls 3 on? Ow. Get up. What? Oh my god. This might be awful. This might be bad. I think this level might be bad. Oh my god. This anime encounter is really not giving me any hope for... Okay. And their movesets really are not made to work together, huh? Because they're staggering their attacks in a way that is impossible for me to avoid. Which is like the worst thing you can do. Okay, there's one. Okay. Come on. Ouch. What just happened? Huh? What? What did I get hit by? Ugh. People complain about Dark Souls 2 hitboxes. I know some people complain about Dark Souls 3 hitboxes, but jeez. Why is Dark Souls 2 the one that gets all the flack? And it's not like they're that prevalent. Like, most of the bad hitboxes have been here, and this is an optional area that's, like, scaled for late game. So it makes sense that most people wouldn't come here and do whatever, but am I supposed to Path of the Dragon here? Probably. Oops. Makes sense that most people wouldn't know that these hitboxes suck. But Twinkling Dragon Torso Stone. Twinkling? Is that different from the normal Dragon Torso Stone? Is there a normal Dragon Torso Stone in this game? Do I have it? I just didn't notice. I do. Huh. Nope, okay. Do they all have a chance to drop that stuff? And was that incredibly lucky, or is that a guaranteed drop from that one specific one? That's strange either way. Oh, this is where Havel is. Okay, I don't know why, but I remembered him being in the above Farron Swamp. I guess this is kind of similar aesthetically. Owie. I feel like Havel doesn't work in Dark Souls 3 because poise doesn't exist. Considering Oh, super armor. I mean, that exists, I guess. Imagine. Okay. Yeah, Havel doesn't really work in Dark Souls 3. Ouch. I say as I'm getting obliterated. What are you doing? Don't do that. Don't use resistances. Owie. Owie, stop. I'm covered in blood. How long does this last? Does he have actual poise now? Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. The roll button simply did not work. The whole time after taking the first hit. Not like literally the whole time. I don't think I should have dodged the first hit. Ah. I don't think the man serpents can chase me up the ladder. If they can, I will see before they actually get up there, so. What? Howie. It tracks. It doesn't even. Oh my god. That's so awesome. Okay, I guess I'll have to fight toward the back then. What? Oh, because he didn't have stamina from attacking. Okay. I was about to be baffled on Havel's behalf. Oh, okay. He can just do that forever then. That's so awesome. Is this the play? Do you just shield break him? Guard break him a bunch? Okay, yeah, once again, I was spamming the roll button that whole time. I simply could not roll after getting hit by that first one, which is very uncool. A colossal weapon, or whatever the class is, the Great Hammer, should not be that fast. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but Jesus. There we go. Finally. Shouldn't have been that difficult. There's just a whole slab there. I didn't know there was a whole slab there. It's kind of funny, actually. Alright, time for Nameless King. As much as I remember not liking Nameless, who knows, that might have been down to Assault. I guess we'll see. Though I think I'm going to finally put embers on my hotbar and maybe actually use one during this fight. At least once I get past the King of the Storms phase. Alright. How's it going? Okay, goodbye, I guess. You know, as much as people complain about the camera in this phase specifically, I actually prefer this phase to phase 2. Simply because the attacks like that are far better telegraphed. What the? I rolled successfully. Okay, come back. Honestly, if Nameless was just King of the Storm, but longer, I'd probably like it a lot more. Oh, hey. Oh, yeah. Damage. Hey, damage us King of the Storm. Let's see how well I can... Ooh, okay. Immediately break that streak, huh? You know, maybe if I treat this more like the princess fight. Ooh, okay, skill issue. I'll enjoy it more. Uh-oh. Damn it. I don't know why I don't expect that follow-up every time. Okay. That delay. No. Everything's fine. Who needs embers? Not me. Okay. I was mashing the roll button that time. Oh, okay. Once again, mashing the roll button. But I suppose I'm just not allowed to roll after getting hit after certain attacks. That's so much fun. That's why I don't like Nameless King. He's way too aggressive. He's way too aggressive. And I can't see anything. That's so cool. That's my problem with a lot of bosses in this game. They're just, or not a lot of bosses, but like several bosses in this game, they're just way too aggressive. Abyss Watchers Phase 2 is a great example of that. And like that's an early game boss and is significantly less aggressive than Nameless, obviously. But like attacking from neutral is never ever safe in this fight, which I definitely really don't like. I don't know. I don't know if that's just me, but I really don't like that. Or, you know, in the second phase anyway. Attacking from neutral is perfectly safe and even advisable in this phase. Okay. Okay. Dark Souls 3 has wonderful hitboxes compared to Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 hitboxes are so bad. Dark Souls 3 hitboxes are so good or something. Oh, okay. What? Huh? Okay. Yeah, that's my fault. The camera unlocking was also my fault, I think. I know people do complain about this phase, but for some reason, this is still a lot of people's favorite boss. Are you kidding me? That... Also, why would it ever lock onto anything other than the king's head? Like, what? Why would I ever want to lock onto the actual Nameless King here? Huh? See, and sometimes, like when this... I definitely press the roll button. Sometimes, when the boss is flying around, the camera is really good. Even if you're locked onto the head, like... That's an instance where you would want to see the Nameless King and not the Drake he's riding. But the camera works in a way that lets you see both. No problem. Why did it unlock? What is that camera? But sometimes, especially when it's on the ground, which is when you would think the camera would be easier to make work, like, it's just so much worse. Like, what? Why is it unlocking randomly? What? A third attack. I see. I was fairly certain that combo only had 2 attacks last time you used it. I definitely pressed the roll button. Maybe I should have an input viewer. So you know that I'm not... That's so awesome. That's so cool. How he ended the combo and immediately started an attack that would have been impossible for me to attack during. That's so cool. Again, way, way too aggressive. Like, I know I was using an Ember, and like, first of all, the fact that you can't use an item after an attack is ended, like, you just don't have enough time, I think shows what I mean by way too aggressive perfectly well. But even in the instance that I wasn't using an item there, I could not have possibly counterattacked. It just would, I couldn't have. And that's not fun. Like, the fact that it can use attacks that I wouldn't be able to do anything against multiple times in a row, that's very not cool. Great. I love that the camera just unlocks sometimes. Yeah, like, see, I'm locked onto the head, but I can see the Nameless King just fine there. And then it automatically locked onto the Nameless King there for some ungodly reason. Like, am I just supposed to not be locked on? Is that what is expected of me here? I genuinely don't know. Okay. Okay. It unlocked, and I couldn't see anything, and I just died. So the entire rest of the series, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, and all of Dark Souls 3, expect you to be locked on during one-on-one fights. However, apparently, this breaks that convention. Like, why? And it's not even because this wouldn't work locked on. If it worked well locked on, if it didn't randomly unlock, if the lock-on point, or if the camera was slightly shifted behind the lock-on point, even, like, all of these issues would be completely remedied. But no issue with locking on during this fight. But because of how terrible this camera is, locking on just sucks in this fight. But because of how erratic their movements are, not locking on puts you at a significant disadvantage too. So, like, what's the correct response here? Okay. See what I mean by too aggressive now? I'm gonna heal. Okay. Why are my souls not here this one specific random time? Huh? See what I mean by significant disadvantage? I can hardly tell what's happening. In fact, I'm pretty sure I was only able to avoid that because I had already fought this boss before and already knew what was going to happen. I guess I can't say for certain, but that's definitely what that felt like. At least this phase doesn't have very much health. Oh, hey, that combo does only have 2 attacks, but I guess you can follow it up with a 3rd attack sometimes. Changing combos are so much fun, because it means you can definitely learn the boss, and don't have to rely on pure trial and error. Very. Somebody said that Nameless King is more similar to a Dark Souls 1 boss and a Dark Souls 3 boss compared to every other boss in Dark Souls 3. But, like, if anything, he's more similar to a Elden Ring boss. This is very much not similar to a Dark Souls 1 boss in any way. Oh my god, stop! Way too aggressive. In a way that just isn't fun. And, like, sometimes high aggression can work. The Twin Princes are a great example of that. They're extremely aggressive, and they're still fun. What's it doing? I actually have no idea what this attack is. Ow. Okay, I gotta love the slight delay. What is that? What was that pose? Don't do that pose. That scared me. Oh, okay. Oh. Huh? Okay. Easy. Though that is pure trial and error. Nice. The aggression worked. Okay, so you have to be hyper aggressive back, but like the character just isn't built for that. And again, there are moments where you just can't retaliate at all. That happened several times during that fight. I know Nameless King is a lot of people's favorite boss in this game, and I will never understand why. Every single time I fought that boss, I just have not had fun with it. Say it's a skill issue all you want, but I mean, I beat it, and I healed, what, 3 times? 4 times? And it's just not fun to be forced to not do anything after certain attacks. Alright, it's finally time to fight the Soul of Cinder, which, big surprise, is another boss that I remember very explicitly not liking, so we'll see how this one goes. Also, side note, it took me forever to figure out that you're supposed to, like, actually place the ashes on these thrones. It took me so long to figure that out. And the DLC will be its own part. I do want to go through the DLC because the DLC is part of the game that I definitely know I don't like especially Ring City. I really did not like Ring City. But, you know, we'll see how that ends up going once I actually, like, thoroughly explore it instead of just sprint through everything. But for now, it's time to fight the Soul of Cinder and end this video off. Hopefully, it just doesn't take too long. I know there are several things, like, off the top of my head that I don't like about Soul of Cinder. Like, one of his ability, or yeah, his, like, sorcerer moveset lets him cast Homing Soul Mess as a status effect, basically. That's a really cool visual, though. But there's also, like, oh, okay, the spear moveset, I don't remember, letting him do that charge that's really annoying. Or that, personally, I find really annoying. Oh, okay. Weird delays. Like, where he is very clearly supposed to be moving forward, but just wasn't that time. Ooh. The Greatsword moveset is probably the one that I have the least trouble with. Or not trouble, but at least, problems with. This is the charge. If you're, like, right up next to him, that's absurdly difficult to dodge. Can you, riposte? You can't. Also, that spin, if you don't end up below him, that will hit you, even if you roll through the first one. So kind of got to use environment to the advantage there. Hopefully I can kill him before he transitions into the next phase. Okay. And then we have one of the worst things about this boss. First of all, that it just brings back Gwyn, which is like, what? Why? Like, lore-wise, I guess it makes sense, but it's obviously just for pandering. But then he also has his, like, weird, annoying 5-hit combo, which I think is this. Then his, like, explosion at the end, which is really annoying. I don't know. His lightning throws are annoying too. Hey, speak of the devil. Oh my god, I thought he threw up. Unless those are 2 different moves that have similar tells. Oh, okay. See, Gwyn only did that in Dark Souls 1 if you were using your shield too much. But I guess that's just fair play here. See, if he only threw the lightning down, I would like it a lot more. Okay, never mind. It's a different tell. My bad. Actually, I thought the tell was a lot more similar than that. That is pretty obviously different, though. Oh, God. No. Ugh. And if it wasn't just 5 minutes of doing nothing while he flails his sword around, it wouldn't even be that bad, but it's just kind of annoying. That's a good opportunity to heal. I probably should have healed up full earlier, but it's fine. I meant to press the roll button. He doesn't do very much damage, actually. I would have expected him to do more damage. There we go. Yeah, easy, but not particularly fun, in my opinion. Oh well. Anyway, I guess that's Dark Souls 3 main game done. I don't know what order I'm gonna upload these videos in. I'll probably have something to break them up so it's not just 3 Dark Souls 3 playthrough videos in a row. But yeah, I don't know. I should summon the Firekeeper, huh? Gotta get the good ending, of course. And then skip the cutscene. Let me pull up my members on my phone so I don't have to pause the cutscene to do this. Actually, on second thought, I probably shouldn't be reading the members over the cutscene. That might be hard to hear. I don't have members right now. Oh my god. Okay. I need a pin to verify my address, but it hasn't gotten here and I've ordered it like 3 times. So I don't have members right now. I'm so sorry. If you were a member, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot about that. Once I get this resolved, it won't matter anymore. But anyway, I suppose. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I love you all, and I don't know how to end this.